Alright folks, welcome back to Mateki.com. Now what we're going to talk about in this video segment is once again the Euro USD. I've had a lot of questions after the previous week on the Euro USD where we called the bottom of the market. Here you can see around the 1.3580 price level. And now many traders have turned and asked me that since we have predicted that bottom there at that level, where we anticipate this market will be going next. A lot of the initial speculation has been that we are going to see a bull movement here on the Euro USD, and we can see that also happening in the charts. So what I want to do here is pull up my 1 hour compression on the Euro USD and just take a look at a few things. Now what you can see here is the price that we did achieve on Friday during the New York trading session, the low of the euro at the 1.3584 price level, falling right in between our 127.2 fib expansion and the 987 fib zone. So now that we have made that payout of the large movement, being the overall movement on the euro that we were talking about, okay, being this entire movement here, we can see we're now looking for further anticipations on the future of the euro. Now before we get into what is happening here as the bulls try to sort of make a push, is that we also have this 161.8 fib expansion lying here below at the 1.3420 price level. So that's also a potential profit level we'll see here, since we've only seen the 127.2 been paid out. But since it was an overlap of the 987 fib zone, this may be a place where we're going to see the market reverse. So what I'm going to do here is look at bull aspect in this market. So what I'm going to do is take a new chart on the Euro USD. And what you can see here is a 1 hour compression, and all that I've done is taken the bottom here of this market simply at the 1.3584 price, and what I've added is my Fibonacci zones using my fib key that you can also find on my blog. So what we have in here are 89 fib zone, our 144 fib zone, our 233, and our 377 fib zone. So what I want to do here is I want to take some interesting parts of information that this market is already giving me here. So grabbing first off my fib retracements, I want to see if we are seeing respects of the retracements here in this movement, because only valid movements will show us respect of the retracements. So since we're able here to stick within the retracements, as you can see, and then we see a progression further north in this movement, we want to now add our fib expansions and see, are we going to see continued harmony of respect here of the Fibonacci. Alright, now by placing those, what we can see here in this market is some interesting levels occurring. First off, here at the 144 overlapping the 127.2 fib expansion, we can see an overlap, so that could be a potential price target here on the market. We saw 100% respect. Off the 100% respect, we saw a retracement once again in here. Okay, let me grab those retracements. Alright, and what you can see there is a 50% retracement off of the 100% fib expansion. And from there we continue to travel north, but we fail to achieve higher market price than the 100% fib expansion allowed here in the past. Okay, so what we're seeing here, first off, is nice movement occurring, creating a line of demand in this market. Okay, we're on a 1 hour compression here. What we want to do is grab that and look for respect first off, because remember, supply demand is a big part of my trading, and I always use these to look for clues of where this market is going and for also trapping this market. So now what we can see here is this line of demand. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4 point line of demand here already in the 1 hour chart. And notice how this market has not been able to achieve a high above the 100% expansion, and it looks like it's right on route here to this line of, off the demand line once again. Then we should see this market here take on further levels of the 144 overlapping the 127.2, and then potentially taking out the 161.8 fib expansion. Now another interesting aspect here is going to be this. Taking a look at the movement that we just saw on the Euro USD, if we do say that a retracement is going to occur on this pair, which most likely is because we've seen a payment of the bottom at the 987 161.8. So what we want to do is take our retracement levels, okay, and what we can see here occurring at a very important level at the 377 fib zone is that we have the 382 retracement of the overall movement south here we have just seen on the Euro USD. Okay, so this is a potential scenario here that is going to continue here to unfold that I'll show you with further analysis. So just keeping this area here in the market intact, because we're saying that that's a key area that this market may attempt in the future. So let's go back here to our 1 hour. Okay, and what we can also see here is that we have the 23.6 retracement of the movement south here overlapping at that 233 zone. So this is starting to become interesting, and now what we want to do is take further analysis here on this movement and see, can we have this market here north prove potential reasons why it would want to attack these two zones, and if it does, then we want to be interested in buying short term here on the euro, because we will know that a retracement is definitely intact, and the areas of retracements are going to be these areas, and if not a retracement is intact, then we're going to see a bull movement here, and this is the analysis that we want to follow for the bull movement. So once again, the most important thing at this time is price movement off of this line of demand. If we see a break here of demand, then we'll wait for a new market setup. But if we see this market react off of demand and create support once again, then we will be interested here in trading this north to our profit targets that we just talked about. Okay, so far what we have done is taken our retracements of just, or excuse me, our expansions of just one movement, and that's this movement right here. Now, saying that this movement does achieve a full 161.8 fib expansion payout, then we most likely have a retracement off of that, continuing on for potential further movement. So let's just go ahead here, and what I like to do with my expansions is a lot of time is predict the market with data that does not yet happened. Okay, and what I can do here is I can see that right away, if I anticipate that this movement will indeed continue to pay out, and we'll take out the 161.8 fib expansion of this movement so far, which is already showing me respect of retracements, respect of expansions, respect of retracements, supply or demand line in here creating support. I'm looking for that to happen once again, so I can take out my 161.8 fib expansion of that movement. We'll complete a full movement, then we'll have a new initial movement in here. Now this new initial movement in here is going to be the movement that we're taking our fib expansions of, as you can see right there. And what those fib expansions line up with perfectly, as you can see here, this overlap at that 377 fib zone with the 161.8 fib expansion of this potential movement up to this level on the euro, okay, that we can see creating a nice profit target. Now that would be a nice retracement considering that it would go to the 382 level, and then potentially that is where we can see this market here turning south once again. Now, again, one of my biggest concerns here on the euro and going north here, or as a matter of fact taking any position, is the fact of what we have just seen. Now we've basically just seen large traders dominate this market and take out a nice profit level at the 1.35 to 1.36 price levels. Excuse me, 1.3585 price levels. Okay. Now, what we mean is dominantly the banks, commercial traders were short in this market. They're holding the large contracts right now, and it's going to be interesting to see which direction they're going to want to take this market. But definitely, if they're taking profit here, profit taking is definitely going to create a bull opportunity for speculators to get in here and potentially take a nice payday here. And a 377 fib zone is definitely a nice area to look for. So if this movement here continues to unfold, and if we continue to see respect here of this supply, of this demand line, then we can definitely see how it is very probable for a trade or two here to occur. Now, great areas here once again to look for in this euro on the recap is first off for support to come in here off of the demand line. Off that support to look for a 161.8 completion of the fib expansion of the movement we already have. Upon that, if we see the retracement potentially back once again, here's the demand line, then look for further on movement north to the 377 fib zone with the 161.8 fib expansion overlapping. Also at the 382 level. So this would be an area that potentially bear contracts may be lining up against. So that would be a point where we want to get in the market, get out of the market, take our profit if this movement occurs, and then let the market show us again what's going to happen. And that is in fact a scenario that we may also see happen now. If we see this market fall below, then we know that, hey, the demand has not been able to dominate this market. Supply is back in this market, and we're going to see potentially a sideways market here or continuation spill down to this Euro USD. Remember that 161.8 fib expansion of the movement south is not far below at the 134 price level on the Euro USD. So that may also be a continuation that we'll see. But things here for that bull movement are looking nice, and if we take a look on the 1 hour, we can see a perfect way to dissect and analyze this pair. So if you see further movements and further supports here on this line of demand, opportunity to buy, and overall look for that money setup that I'm talking about, being the full 161.8 movement, and then seeing the fib expansions here lining up with that 377 fib zone. So that's what we have on the euro. We will keep you updated throughout the trading week with further progression here on the pair and further analysis on others. So make sure to come back, check us out once again. Thank you for taking a look at our analysis. We will see you very soon. Until then, good luck and happy trading.